A wise man once said, yesterday's price is not today's price, and today's price is not tomorrow's price. And that wise man, well, it was me. All right, I tried to tell you guys, I've tried to warn you guys, and I've gotten lots of pushback on this, but what have I said since 2025? The Nintendo Switch 2 was going to go up in price, and many people would argue with me and try to say, no, that's not going to happen in 2026. The Switch 2 is selling so well. But lo and behold, it looks like your boy was right. And obviously I'm not right about everything, but the Nintendo Switch 2 is indeed going up in price. Some games that I have been mentioning did indeed underperform. And there is lots of positive things from Nintendo's financial stuff where they talked about overall system sales and whatnot. And yeah, that was never really a case of, was that going to happen or not? The system obviously is selling very well. It was the fastest selling system of all time. But now we have to talk about the underbelly. We have to talk about the things that I have been mentioning that people have been pushing back on me like crazy for, such as certain games failing to hit metrics that people were saying they were hitting online, and of course the price increase, because the Nintendo Switch 2 is indeed going up in price. But before we get into all of that goodness, before we kind of break everything down and talk about the whys and what is actually happening with the price increase, I gotta hit the Max pose. I gotta hit the Dreamcast guy pose. Put that on your thumbnail. Beeb that, pal. Beeb that, pal. But yes, let's talk about what's going on here. So, Nintendo themselves have indeed announced a price increase for the Nintendo Switch 2 to whom it may concern. Notice regarding price revisions for Nintendo products and services. Nintendo Co. Ltd., headquarters in Kyoto, which we know Kyoto only makes great quality games that never go on sale because of the craftsmanship, according to Reggie Fils-Aimé's dumbass. Shintaro Furukawa, Nintendo, hereafter, hereby announces that it has decided to revise the prices of the following products and services, so dedicated video game systems, in light in the market changes, and after considering the global business outlook, Nintendo will revise the manufacturer's suggested retail prices of the Switch 2 and Switch systems in Japan as follows. So going up here, obviously, I'm not in Japan, so I don't really know my currency rates or anything like that, but things are indeed going up. And this is effective as of May 25th. And then, of course, there are other things going on here. Given the impact of various charges and market conditions is expected to extend over the medium to long term, price revisions are also planned outside of Japan as described below. The Switch 2, $449 to $499.99. That's exactly what I've been telling you guys was going to happen. The system was going to go up to $500 dues. I don't know why people got so upset whenever I was saying that, but I mean, I guess you can't get upset anymore. Canada, $629.99 to $679.99. Europe, this will be happening on September 1st. So you do have time to still get the system at the standard $449.99, which should lead to a pretty sizable rush of people wanting to get the system at the discounted rate. It's something I talked about whenever I would say this. I said it would probably happen in the summertime. Now, granted, September is a little bit outside of the traditional summertime window for some people, but it's exactly what I said. Nintendo Switch Online is going up in Japan as of June 1st. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about that stateside, but that is something to keep an eye on, because obviously if they're willing to do it in one region, they are indeed willing to do it in another region. That will be going on July 1st. And then Switch playing cards are going up in price. We sincerely apologize for the impact these price revisions may have on our customers and other stakeholders, and we deeply appreciate your understanding. So, wow. We're getting that price increase, people. And, people will break down the whys and the why nots that this is happening. but it is happening. When you look at the global economic scale, when you look at the price of everything, like I don't understand why so many Nintendo fans felt like Nintendo was going to be immune from this, even as late as this week. You know, earlier this week, we talked about the Bloomberg article where they were saying there needs to be a price increase, and people got so crazy about that. That's not going to happen. Nintendo's not going to do that. And it's like, why do you pledge allegiance to a specific box? And if you're a kid, like, that's one thing, but if you're a grown-ass adult, like, I don't understand it. Now, like I said, there is more to this beyond just the price increase of the Switch 2 system and obviously other things happening in Japan. There are two titles that were not announced as 1 million unit sellers, and once again, it plays into things that we have talked about very recently before on this channel. Mario Tennis Fever was not on the 1 million sellers list. We talked about literally yesterday how Mario Tennis Fever was kind of the sacrificial lamb. Everything is starting to make sense now when you think about it. All of these $70 games underperforming is why you're now starting to see cheaper Nintendo Switch 2 games. Games like Splatoon Raiders, $50 redos, Star Fox, $50 redos. Even for physical versions of these games, retailers are price matching that so you can get those games at $50. But why would Nintendo do that if everything was selling very well? Mario Tennis Fever hasn't sold over 1 million copies. But more importantly, Metroid Prime 4 has not sold over 1 million copies yet. Even though all these people online were trying to tell me it was, you know, the best-selling game ever, and it's like, at some point in time, we have to stop listening to just diehard fanboys about things, because they're giving you clouded visions. They're giving you clouded information. Now, yes, there were a lot of games that sold really well, but not everything is going to sell great at that $70 price point. And I think this is pure proof of that. And that is why Nintendo is doing this shift to the cheaper software. It all makes perfect sense now when you think about it. Yes, you have to raise the price of your system, but if you're able to offer, you know, cheaper software than what other companies are doing, you're still attractive to people. You know, yeah, our system is going up in price, but the games are cheaper than you're going to get on other platforms. Now, I'm not like bashing Nintendo for raising the price or anything. Far from it. I was under the impression that this was going to happen very soon because of how things were going. I was under the impression that it had to happen. I'm more so just talking about the mentality that people have where they want to die on their sword for Nintendo. And no, Nintendo's not going to raise the price of things like that. And it's like, they're a business. Businesses are going to do what's best for them. They're going to do what's best for their shareholders. And like I said, if you're someone who's into like system sales numbers and stuff like that, because you like to own the people online and stuff like that, like there's plenty of positive information that has come out of this. There's plenty of positive information that you could take away from what is happening right now. But the problem is people don't like to look at the negative side of things. People don't like to look at the side of things where it's like, you know, there is some problems going on here. There are some issues that need to be addressed. There are some issues that need to be adjusted. Not every Switch 2 game is selling like hotcakes. Not everyone is buying all of these Switch 2 games, especially at $70. So if we got to take a little bit of a lump on it, and we have to charge $50 for the games now for certain games, I think people should be excited for that. Like, people should be happy for that, more so than happy about how many systems they've sold or something like that. Like 20 million systems, very impressive for the first year of the system. But we have to look at the other side of the coin with this. And that's kind of just what I'm doing. So yesterday's price, like I said, is not today's price. Today's price is not tomorrow's price. The Switch 2 is going up in price in the United States on September 1st, up to $500. But if you have a software catalog of games that are selling for $50, you have that Ocarina of Time happening in the obvious upcoming holiday season and stuff like that, like you can offset it, you can mitigate it. Here's the thing. This is not a video of me bashing Nintendo. People get it so confused and stuff like that. It's a video of facts. It's a video of what is happening, why it is happening, and things that I have said were going to happen that I received a lot of pushback on. It's okay. I forgive you, but we got to hit that Dreamcast guy one more time. Because I was right about this. And, you know, I'm not right about everything. I'm wrong about a lot of things. But, hey, I got to get my W somewhere. So, I guess let me know what you think about the price increase. If you don't own a Switch 2, is this going to make you rush out to want to get one before the price increase is indeed activated and stuff like that? Does that make you, you know, because we saw that with the PlayStation 5 when they were doing price increases on their systems and stuff like that. And it's not me bashing Nintendo. Every company is raising the price of things. You could say it's a little bit odd. They sold 20 million units, but, you know, we got to raise the price of stuff. But it's business at the end of the day, dude. Like, that's what it really boils down to. So give me your thoughts. Give me your feedback in the comments section down below. Do you see this as a good idea? Do you see this as a bad idea? I mean, realistically, the Switch 2 is never going to outsell the Switch 1 to begin with. I don't think anyway. So that's a whole nother topic for another day, though. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.